Good evening! Welcome to tonight's edition of Quiztatorship, a trivia game that lets you deduce the answers by combining general knowledge with logical thinking. As we progress, the questions will be getting increasingly harder, so let's see how far you make it. Question 1. In 1974, where could you hear the phrase, "the shark is not working"? The answer is on set of Jaws. Question 2. The ancient Greek word eures means wide, and the word ops means face or eye, so if you put them together, you arrive at wide gazing. The name of what region is derived from this? The answer is Europe. Question 3. Ian Fleming, the creator of James Bond, loved birds. He had several books by a then famous ornithologist on his shelf. What was that ornithologist's name? The answer is James Bond. Yep, 007 was named after a birdwatcher. Question 4. In former times, why would surgeons keep a wooden hammer in their office? The answer is, well, anesthesia wasn't really a thing, so that was the best way to knock you out before a surgery. Question 5. Can you guess what actress was featured on the cover of the very first Playboy back in 1953? The answer is Marilyn Monroe. Question 6. Animal psychologist Glenn Jensen used to experiment with rats, offering them instantly accessible food in a cup. At the same time, however, food was also available in a dispenser nearby, which required the rats to press a pedal several times before they could get their treats. It turned out that the rats preferred the second option, where they had to put in some effort. In similar experiments, mice, dogs, monkeys, birds, and even fish demonstrated the same behavior. There was only one animal that preferred getting its food without doing any work at all. Can you guess the animal in question? The answer is, you guessed it, cats. Question 7. One American gentleman needed money, so he had an idea. He placed an ad in a newspaper stating he was getting married and asking people to send him advice on how to have a successful marriage. He received about 1,000 replies. The question is, how did he make money from that? The answer is, he published the tips he received in a book. Question 8. When they were building the Great Wall of China, they mixed a certain food into the mortar to make it stronger. What was the food in question? The answer is rice. Question 9. What 1984 science fiction movie was so complex they had to distribute explanation sheets to the moviegoers? The answer is Dune. Question 10. Fill in the blank. In 1982, Billy Joel's 52nd Street was one of the first 50 albums to be released blank. The answer is to be released on CD. Question 11. What were the Shang, the Zhou, the Sui, the Tang, and the Yuan? The answer is Chinese dynasties. Question 12. What camera manufacturer describes their mission in the following manner? We exist to help you see those moments, to pause them, and to relive them in something you can hold in your hand and turn to forever. The answer is Polaroid. Question 13. What is topographical cretinism? The answer is topographical cretinism is also referred to as topographical disorientation. It means you are unable to orient yourself in your surroundings. Question 14. What suite is named after Forrest E. Marsh Sr. and Bruce Murray? The answer is M&M's. Question 15. Complete the following quote by George Bernard Shaw. Now that we have learned to fly in the air like birds and dive in the sea like fish, only one thing remains, to learn blank. The answer is to learn to live on Earth as human beings. Question 16. What did the ancient Greeks call a period of 4 years? Your answer doesn't need to be precise, but you must get the rough idea. The answer is Olympiad. Question 17. Agatha Christie wrote the last Poirot novel, Curtain, Poirot's Last Case, back in the early 1940s. However, it wasn't published until 1975, over 30 years later. The question is why? The answer is, fearing she might not survive the war, Christie wanted to give her fans a closure. The manuscript was to be published in the event of her death. Luckily, that proved unnecessary. Question 18. Peter the Great was a Tsar of Russia in the 17th and 18th century. There is a statue of him in London overlooking the River Thames, erected in the year 2000. The statue has a weirdly small head. Why is that? The answer is, this is because, and I fear you might hate me for that, he really did have a pretty small head. Question 19. What is the slang word for a woman who takes excessive amounts of photographs of her children? The answer is mamarazzi. Question 20. A question about a man called Olaudah Equiano. Equiano was born in 1745 in Guinea and was a former slave who spent his adult life in England. For years he worked on a ship and finally managed to buy his freedom. As a former slave, what did Equiano have that most other former slaves did not? The answer is slaves. Thanks for watching. You don't have to like or subscribe or anything like that. But then, it's just one click, right? I would appreciate it. Check out the channel for more videos like this one, and have a peaceful night.